Samantha sat alone in the dimly lit cafe, the hum of conversation around her a distant murmur. Only a few years ago, this was her favorite spot, with Eric, meeting him after work, sharing stories and laughter. Now, those memories haunted her. When they first met, everything clicked. Every smile, every touch released a flood of warmth. Samantha remembered the thrill of telling Eric about her promotion, the nights they spent huddled under blankets during thunderstorms. Those bonds they built over years were severed the day Eric left. The withdrawal was brutal. She reached for her phone to text him, only to remember he wasn't there. Her body ached with a longing she couldn't describe. It wasn't just in her head, it was in her biology. The absence of those bonding hormones left her restless, her sleep fragmented by dreams of reconciliation. One rainy evening, Samantha returned to the cafe and sat staring at the door, half expecting Eric to walk in. A part of her still clung to hope, to the possibility that their bonds could be reformed. As she sat there, lost in memories, the door repeatedly swung open and then closed again. Her heart skipped a beat with every moment someone walked into the cafe. What are the chances he might be him? Just walking through that door one more time. She held her breath, waiting to see who would step through. I'm Wendy Rovers. I remember the first time I seriously considered divorce. It was a moment filled with fear, uncertainty, and an overwhelming sense of failure. I felt like I was letting my kids down, ruining their lives and shattering the dreams I had for our family. But that was just the beginning of my journey. There were days I would sit in my car after dropping the kids off at school, just to have a moment to myself. I would think about the life I had envisioned and how far it seemed from reality. The endless arguments, the feeling of being invisible, and the fear of what the future held. It was during those moments that I realized I needed to make a change, not just for myself, but for my children as well. Welcome to my channel, where I help people navigate the complexities of separation and divorce, and focus on health and better outcomes. Today's topic is close to my heart because I've been through it too. We're going to delve into why divorce hurts so much, drawing on scientific evidence and the insights of experts like Brené Brown. By the end of this video, I hope you'll feel a little less alone and a lot more empowered. Divorce is profoundly painful due to a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. Let's break it down. When we form a deep connection with someone, our brains release bonding hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin. These create a powerful attachment similar to that between a parent and a child. Divorce disrupts this bond, triggering withdrawal symptoms akin to drug addiction. It's not just in your head, it's in your biology. Think about the times when you couldn't wait to share a piece of good news with your partner, or the comfort you found in their presence during tough times. These moments created deep-rooted bonds. And when those bonds are suddenly severed, it's like losing a part of yourself. Divorce activates the body's stress response, flooding it with cortisol and adrenaline. This can lead to physical symptoms like sleep disturbances, appetite changes, and even a weakened immune system. It's why you might feel physically ill from the emotional turmoil. I can remember sleepless nights, tossing and turning, my mind racing with worries about the future. The weight loss from the lack of appetite and the constant fatigue from not getting enough rest. It's a vicious cycle, but understanding it is the first step to breaking free from it. Studies have shown that heartbreak activates the same brain regions as physical pain. This explains the intense emotional anguish and the feeling of being brokenhearted. Your brain is processing this as a real, tangible pain. Imagine getting a paper cut. It's small, but surprisingly painful. Now amplify that pain by 1,000. That's what your brain goes through during a heartbreak. It's a wound that isn't visible, but is just as real and needs time to heal. Divorce involves multiple losses: the loss of companionship, intimacy, shared dreams, and a sense of identity. This triggers the grieving process, which includes denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and eventually acceptance. It's a cycle we must honor and move through. I went through all of these stages, sometimes in a single day. I denied the reality of my situation. I felt angry at myself and my soon-to-be ex-husband. I bargained with the universe for a different outcome. I sank into depression, and slowly but surely, I found acceptance. Each stage is a step towards healing. We often invest our hopes and dreams in a marriage. Divorce shatters these, leaving us feeling lost, disillusioned, and unsure about the future. The dream of a forever family is a tough one to let go of. It's like building a beautiful sandcastle only to have it washed away by the tide. The effort and love put into it seems wasted, but it's important to remember that new dreams can be built, even if they look different from what we originally envisioned. The uncertainty of life after divorce, well, it can be terrifying. We may worry about finances. We may be lonely, have parenting challenges, and the whole idea and prospect of starting over. The unknown is always scary, but it's also a blank canvas for creation and new possibilities. When I first thought about separating, the fear of the unknown paralyzed me. How would I manage financially? Would my children resent me? How would I start over? Can I do this on my own? These fears are valid, but they are also conquerable. Each step forward, no matter how small, each action, no matter how small, brings confidence and clarity. Despite changing attitudes, divorce still carries a stigma in some communities, and this can lead to feelings of shame, embarrassment, and isolation. It's essential to remember that your worth is not defined by your marital status. Your worth is not defined by one failed relationship. I felt the weight of judgment from those around me, the whispered conversations, the sympathetic looks. But I learned to walk the high road and to hold my head high and understand that my journey was mine alone. Surrounding myself with supportive people made all the difference. I researched, I read books, I studied, I dove deep, I became self-aware, I worked at it. And divorce can disrupt social circles and support systems. Friends may take sides, and family members may offer unsolicited advice, adding to the stress and pain. Rebuilding a support system is crucial during this time. One of the hardest parts was feeling like I had to choose between friends who took sides. It felt like another loss on top of everything else. But in time, I found new connections, and I rebuilt my support network with people who truly understood and supported me. It's common to compare ourselves to others, especially after divorce. Seeing seemingly happy couples can intensify feelings of failure and inadequacy. Remember, social media is a highlight reel. It's not the full picture. I used to scroll through social media, seeing happy families and couples, and feel a pang of envy and inadequacy. It's important to remind yourself that everyone has their struggles, and what we see online is often just the surface, and it's often just the good stuff. Brene Brown, a research professor and vulnerability expert, emphasizes that heartbreak is a universal human experience. She argues that the pain of heartbreak stems from its connection to love and belonging. When we open ourselves up to love, we become vulnerable. Divorce exposes this vulnerability, leaving us feeling raw, and exposed. Brown encourages us to embrace vulnerability as a path to healing. By allowing yourself to feel the pain of heartbreak, you can ultimately emerge stronger and more resilient. While the pain of divorce is undeniable, there are ways to cope and heal. Don't suppress your emotions. Give yourself permission to grieve the losses you've experienced. It's okay to feel sad, angry, and confused. This is your body talking to you. These are signs. Pay attention to these signs. Use them as a guide to move forward and to learn and to grow. Take time to cry if you need to. Write in a journal, talk to a friend, hire a coach, or simply sit with your feelings. Grieving is a necessary step in healing, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. Reach out to family, reach out to friends, reach out to a therapist, support group, a divorce coach. Talking about your feelings can be incredibly helpful. You don't have to go through this alone. Finding a community of people who understand what you're going through can be a lifeline. Whether it's a local support group or an online community, sharing your experiences and hearing others can provide immense comfort and insight. Prioritize your physical and emotional well-being. Eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, and engage in activities that you enjoy. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. You need to take care of you first so that you're able to bring your best self to everyone else. I started taking daily walks and small runs, not just for exercise, but for a mental break. I found solace in nature and began to reconnect with activities I loved but had put aside. Self-care is about nurturing yourself and reclaiming joy. While acknowledging the pain of the past, try to focus on creating a new life for yourself. Set goals, pursue your passions, embrace new opportunities. Know what you want, know why you want it, know where you're headed, and create a plan to get there and take actions to get there. The future is a canvas waiting for your brushstrokes. Start small with achievable goals. Maybe it's taking a class, starting a new hobby, planning a trip. Each step you take towards a new future helps rebuild your sense of self and purpose. If you feel you're ready to start setting some small, achievable goals, check out my video on the Create Your Life model, where I dive deeper into transforming your life post-divorce by reshaping thoughts, embracing positivity, and taking intentional actions. It's a game changer for many of my clients. Let me share a personal story. 19 years ago, I transitioned through divorce. And I know that if I had someone like myself in my corner working with me, I would have been more knowledgeable, understood my options better, moved through the process more efficiently, and felt better about myself along the way. That's why I'm doing this work now, because I know how transformative it can be. Today, I want to leave you with this. You are stronger than you think. The pain of divorce is real, but so is your resilience. By embracing the vulnerability and allowing yourself to heal, you can emerge stronger and more empowered. If you're feeling overwhelmed, lonely, or unsure about your next steps, consider reaching out. I offer coaching sessions tailored to your unique needs, helping you navigate this journey with clarity and confidence. Schedule a call with me. I look forward to meeting you and walking this path together. And before we wrap up, if you haven't already, check out my video on navigating divorce with resilience. It's packed with practical tips and advice to help you find your inner strength and come out the other side stronger and more resilient. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is not the end, it's a new beginning. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out. Take care and stay strong.